Good day, everyone. We are the group 5, and our topic is all about the law on common carrier and the air passenger bill of rights. So, the Civil Code of the Philippines define what and who are the common carriers are. So, the law also imposes the responsibility of a common carrier wherein the failure to observe the same will hold the common carrier liable for damages. So, if ever ang common carrier dili makabuhat sa angay nila buhaton, or na sila sa mabuhat, automatic sila ang manibag. So, before we proceed, what do you think is a carrier? So, a carrier is a person or corporation who undertakes to transport or convey goods or persons from one place to another, gratuitously or for hire. Gratuitously means free charge or something like dili na mo bayad, unlike sa mag-hire na need mo bayad. So, it is stated that a carrier can be a person or a corporation. So, there are two classifications of carriers. So, we have first the private carrier or the special carrier. Second, we have the common carrier or the public carrier. So, what do you mean by a private carrier or special carrier? So, from the word itself, private or special, so those who transports goods or people from one place to another, but only in special cases and by agreement. So they do not regularly offer their services to the public, and this can be also done for free or for a fee. So for example, in airlines, so we have the charter airlines. So they are the companies that offers private flights for specific clients instead of regular commercial passengers. So, a charter airline or charter flight means renting an entire aircraft for a specific trip rather than purchasing individual seats on the scheduled commercial flight, offering flexibility in schedule and destination. So, as expected, mga millionaires and billionaires rin makapordan. Next example, we have the freight or private carrier. So FYI, freight are goods transported in bulk by truck, train, ship, or aircraft. So example, logistic companies with exclusive transport services. So business that transport goods for specific clients only rather than serving the general public. So example here is Tugu Special Logistics. So it offers customized cargo transport for businesses. So they mainly handles B2B or business-to-business transactions and may not accommodate shipments for personal use. And we have the contract of private carriage. So it is an agreement where a private carrier agrees to transport goods or people for a specific person or business under special terms. So here are the common terms in contract of private carriage. First, we have the parties involved. Second, we have the scope of service. Third, the compensation on the payment. Fourth, we have the liabilities and responsibilities. Fifth, we have the special conditions. Sixth, we have the termination. And the last, the governing law. So, in the parties involved, so it identifies the carrier or the service provider and client or the person or business requesting the transport. Second, we have the scope of service. So, it is specify what is being transported and the route and whether it is one-time or ongoing service. And we have the compensation and payment. So, it states the fee, if any, on the payment method and the due date and the penalties for late payment. Fourth, we have the liabilities and responsibilities. So it defines the carrier's duty of care and limits liability for damages beyond control, example, natural disasters. And we have also the special conditions. So it includes packaging, handling, insurance, and safety requirements. And also in termination, so it outlines how and when either party can end the contract. And last, the governing law. So it states the contract follows Philippine laws and how disputes will be settled or the abbreviation or court.
Hello, my name is Fitzininia Biray and this is for the continuation. Common carrier or public carrier. Are the following transports enumerates a common carrier? So So bus, train, airplane, vessel, and jeep are the common carriers. Also, these Philippine Airlines, LRTA, Sulpicial Line, Florida Bus, and LBC Group are they common carrier. So, for according to Article 1732, makes no distinction between one whose principal business activity is the carrying of passengers or goods or both, and one who does carrying only as an ancillary activity in local idiom as a sideline. So first, let us define what is a common carrier. A common carrier, also known as the public carrier, is defined as a person, corporation, firm, or association engaged in the business of transporting passengers, goods, or both by land, water, or air for compensation. The key characteristic of a common carrier is that they offer their services to the general public, meaning anyone can hire their services as long as they meet the required terms and pay the agreed upon fare or rate. So, katong gipakita nga mga example are they a common carrier? So, bus, train, airplane, vessel, and jeep are in specific natay Philippine Airlines, Land Trail Transit Authority, Sulpicius Line, Florida Bus, and LBC Corporation. Are they? So first is the Philippine Airlines Incorporated. So yes, Philippine Airline is a public carrier as it operates scheduled flights and offers services to the public, transporting passengers by air for compensation. Next is Land Rail Transit Authority, or LRTA. So yes, LRTA is a public carrier as it operates public trains such as LRT or light rail transit system in Metro Manila. These trains are available to the public for a fee, providing land transportation services to passengers. Next is the Sulpicial Lines Incorporated, and now we call it To Go. So To Go operates as a shipping company offering sea transport services for both passengers and cargoes. Next is Florida Bus Incorporated. Florida Bus Incorporated is a public carrier as it operates buses that transport passengers by land, primarily servicing routes between different cities in the Philippines. Last is the LBC Corporation. LBC is a well-known carrier and logistic company in the Philippines. It offers parcel and cargo delivery services to the public, transporting goods for a fee. So yes, these 5 examples are a public carrier or common carrier as they nisigo sila sa definition sa common carrier, which is kanang they offer their services to the public, dili lang kay one type of passenger lang ilang giservan kundi tanan public nga ni-avail sila as long as mobayad or mo cooperate sila in sila mga policies. So Article 1732 makes no distinction between one whose principal business activity is the carrying of person or goods or both, and one who does such carrying only as an ancillary activity, or which we call sideline. Means that the law does not differentiate between companies whose main business is transportation and those that only engage in transportation as a secondary or additional business. So in simpler terms, the law treats any business that offers transportation services to the public or compensation as a common carrier, whether transportation is their main business or just a activity or just a sideline activity. For here, I'll give you example for principal business and activity. A company like Philippine Airlines, whose main business is to transport passengers and cargo by air. The airline's entire focus is on providing transportation services to the public, making it a clear example of a common carrier. So hindi ni makasabot insa nang principal business activity, which is module ang ilahang main business nila, which is ang kanang mag transport of passengers or goods. An example of ancillary or sideline activity: a grocery store that also offers delivery of a good to its customer for a fee. So because the grocery store's primary business is selling food, and their ancillary activity or sideline is to offer delivery services. If this grocery store accepts customers' orders for delivery and transport goods for compensation, even though transportation isn't their primary business, they are still considered a common carrier under the law because they provide the service to the public for compensation. So whether kaning mag-deliver kag goods or passengers is main business ninyo, or kanang sideline ra or kan additional ra sa inyong main, it is still called a common or public courier. Contract of carriage or transportation. When engaging the services of the common carrier, there is a contract that is established. The contract is called contract of carriage or contract of public transportation. A contract of carriage or contract of public transportation is a vital legal agreement between a common carrier, which is the entity providing the transportation service, and the passenger or shipper, the person or business utilizing or using the transportation service. This contract governs the relationship between the two parties, setting clear expectations and ensuring that both the carrier and the customer fulfill their obligations. In simple terms, when a person or business hires a common carrier, whether it's a bus, airline, shipping company, or any other transportation provider, this contract automatically comes into effect. It is a legally binding agreement that outlines the terms.
Good morning, everyone. So, this is my continuations of our report, Responsibility of a Common Courier, an Article 1733. Common carriers, from the nature of their businesses and for reasons of public policy, are bound to observe extraordinary diligence in opinions over the goods and for the safety of the passengers transported by them, according to all the circumstances of each cases. So, a common carrier must use an extraordinary diligence to ensure that the safety of passengers or goods, since transportation services are essential to the public. The law imposes a standard of course. For example, a resorts offering boat rides for island tours. So, the resort and the driver of the boat must ensure that the boats are in a good conditions. Captain are well trained and experienced, know how to do an emergency situation, and the boat has life vests to ensure that guests are safety and also are available. So, example ani is like mga kanang mga courier services or kanang mga GNT or mga flash. So ang mga driver mas kanang makatag sa og services dahil sa ilang i-deliver na dapat nila i-handle carefully para wala sa damages during the transit or pag-deliver sa katunay nag-order. Then, common carriers duty to passenger Article 1755. A common carrier is bound to carry the passengers' safety as far as human care and foresight can provide, using the utmost diligence of very cautious persons with a due regard to all the circumstances. So a common carrier must ensure passengers arrive safely during the highest level of cautions. This means they should check vehicle conditions, follow safety protocols, and train staff properly. So like mga pilot, so dapat well trained jud sila. Dapat ang plane is like na check na gajud before mo depart or mo take off. So dapat ang piloto is kabog jud sa kanang drills to how to handle the emergency. Then ang next, responsibility of a common carrier. Article 756, presumptions of negligence in case of injury or